Okay, today I have a bunch of new Tiki Cats lines. There's quite a few different products this time. They're not all just the cans. So I'm going to go through each one of them and just kind of talk about each one. So we have these Tiki Cat Wet Treats. So these are what I would describe as like Go-Gurt tubes for cats. It is like a very thin pate, very high moisture content that you can just squeeze out of the tube. Our cats like to eat them right out of the tube, but you can also kind of squirt them into a food dish or onto a plate, and they'll lap it up just fine. They are pre-portioned, so that one tube is a good enough treat for a cat. They come in packs of 6. We have 3 cats, so it's nice to have a large number. Each one is going to give us 2 different treats for the whole bunch. So super nice to have a pack of them rather than individual. But for these, there is chicken and shrimp in a creamy gravy, and then the other one is tuna and scallops in a creamy gravy. I've said this in other videos when I review them. Our cats prefer the fish over the chicken. That's just their preference. But if you know your cat likes chicken, they do have that option. The tuna and scallops was something new for the cats to try. They've never really had anything with scallops in it. But they really love this. All 3 of our cats ate it down. And then with the chicken one, again, all 3 of our cats ate it, but you can definitely tell their preference is for the tuna and scallops. And then they also sent me a large number of pouch flavors. So we have the Tiki Cats Aloha Friends chicken, pumpkin, and beef recipe. So this was another unique one. It's beef. You don't see that a lot in cats, but they ate it just fine. This is kind of like a chunky mixture. It's not necessarily shreds, but it's also not a pate. So it's kind of like a good middle ground. It is all soft, so if your cat has teeth problems, they should have no problem eating this. To go along with this one, they also have just a pumpkin and chicken. So if your cat maybe has a food allergy to beef, or you're not sure if they're going to like beef, you can just get a chicken and pumpkin one. Something that's cool with this is the pumpkin is also kind of a unique ingredient. I don't really see that as a forefront in a lot of cat food, but they liked it. They didn't have a problem with it. They weren't picky in eating around the pumpkin chunks, so they liked it. Then we have another Aloha Friends flavor. This one is tuna, whitefish, and pumpkin. So again, our cats really like the fish over the chicken, so this one is definitely a go-to. They ate this one down a lot faster. The chicken one, they sniffed it a little bit, tasted it, did like the taste, but there's just, you can clearly tell that their preference is with these fish ones. So they also have a couple different lines. In addition to these like Aloha ones, they have ones specifically aimed for things like kittens, seniors, or if they have like sensitive stomachs. So this one is a Mousse variety, and it is for kittens. It's a salmon and chicken blend. So if you have really young cats, maybe they're not fully transitioned into more solid foods yet, they do have this nice, very pureed mousse that they can have. And with their kitten lines, they tend to be a little bit more calorie dense to make sure that the kittens get enough kind of meat on their bones, make sure that they're getting up to a proper weight. Along with that, these tend to have some extra additives that are specifically targeted for kitten development. So if you do have kittens, they do have a specific line for those. And then, like I said, they have a senior line. This one is also a mousse. It is salmon and pumpkin. So with this, they tend to take out some of the additives that upset older cats' stomachs. So it's easier on them to digest. It doesn't give them as many problems as sometimes regular cat food can do. So if you do have a senior cat, I do recommend checking out their senior lines. They have the pouches, they have them in the cans. There's a ton of different varieties, so it is worth checking out. And then this one is a special skin and coat one. A lot of the times, skin and coat is also kind of sensitive stomach. It kind of all goes together. So if your cat has maybe dry skin, especially during the summer months where it's really, hot out, our cat tends to have dandruff. And then I've also seen it in the past where during the winter months when it's really cold air and the air's dry, it can also dry out their skin. So if you have a cat with skin and coat issues, they do have the Tiki Cat Special, which is kind of a line designed specifically for that. Again, they have a bunch of different flavors, but this one is a salmon as the protein. And then back to 2 more of the Aloha Friends flavors. We have the chicken, pumpkin, and egg. So they do have kind of a different variety of chicken as the main protein, and then substituting in some other protein to give a little bit of variety. So that's nice. And then we have another fish one, which again is always a winner in our house. This one's tuna, tilapia, and pumpkin. The cats really love the fish ones, whether it's salmon, tuna, shrimp, the scallops. Our cats always go to this. So if you know that your cat likes the more fishy flavors, definitely check out these kinds of flavors. They did also send me some more of the cans. I had a huge box about a month ago that we went through, and the cats really did love the flavors in it. This particular one is their After Dark Pâtés. So these are kind of like fancier proteins. This particular one is like beef, venison, duck. They also have a liver in these ones. So this is definitely a kind of more nutrient-rich, fattier-rich cat food, which again is nice if your cat is maybe a little underweight or you just want to supplement their regular food. But this particular box is a variety pack, so there's the 3 different flavors. We have the New Zealand sourced venison and beef liver recipe. These cans are pretty big, so if you're feeding just the can, it's a good meal. We like to kind of give a mixture of wet food and dry food throughout the day, so I usually use half a can per cat. But again, I am supplementing that with dry food, but they are good enough to have a full meal by themselves. Let's see. We also have, oh, these are all beef liver on top. Here we go. Sorry about that. So again, there is the duck and chicken liver recipe. So it seems like for this particular variety pack, you do get a lot more of the beef and beef liver up front. But you do have the other 2 flavors of... Okay, so the reason why it seemed like there was 2 is there's beef and beef liver, and then there's the venison and beef liver. I wasn't noticing the labels, but there are the 3 flavors, and they do seem to be evenly distributed throughout this. So the total number of cans in this is 12. With the 3 flavors, you get 4 cans of each. So it's a nice way to try out the different varieties without fully committing into a full case of one. Then we also have a couple other cans. These are kind of single cans or loose cans. You can buy them as single cans, 3 packs, or like the big box set. This one is their mackerel and sardines and a calamari sauce. So this one was really weird to open because it has full fish in it. They are processed. They definitely are cooked. But it had the fish head. It had the full fish tail. It was chopped up a little bit, so they're like chunks. For sardines, big, it was kind of cut into 3 smaller chunks. Our cats really did like it. Again, it was kind of unusual to see a full fish in these kinds of cans, but that's nice to see because you know that it is actually fish. You know what product is in the can. You know that you're getting something that's relatively unprocessed. So that was super nice to try out another kind of variety of just how they can these, because there's shreds, there's pâtés, there's mousses, so they have a wide variety of things. We have a couple of the individual After Dark ones. These ones are chicken and duck. So for these 2, instead of it being beef, like the variety pack I showed, the individual cans are also with chicken or duck. So that way you can, again, match the protein to what your cat likes, what's good on their stomach, and things like that. They also have little After Dark cans. So again, these bigger ones tend to be kind of a full meal, but if you want to kind of supplement it with dry food, they do have smaller options. Or if your cat's just not a super large eater, the smaller cans kind of help, keep their food balanced with their weight. This one is a chicken and pork recipe. So again, there's kind of a large variety, and they all come in the different size cans. So if you want one in a larger can or a smaller can, you can pick that. There is actually kind of like a big list of them for each flavor. So you can kind of pick and choose the exact size, quantity that you want. This one is just a smaller version of what was in the variety pack of the beef and beef liver. So this is again just showing you that they do come in smaller portions if you don't want big large ones. But I like the large ones because we have multiple cats. I can kind of crack open a single can and feed them all from one. Or with these smaller ones, I kind of have to open it up in each individual can. I just go through the smaller ones faster. So if you're interested, I'm going to leave a link down below to all of these. I think of this batch that they've sent me, the ones our cats like the most are these the Tiki Cat Stix. They're the wet cat food, kind of like treats. So these are, maybe not an everyday thing because they're treats. They're kind of an addition to the regular food, but they do really like these, especially, again, the tuna and scallops one. They sent me 3 bags, and I'm down to this last one. We've really been going through them because our cats, they really beg for this. So if you're interested, please check the links down below for these Tiki Cats products.